That's right, Bev. We really don't know, do we? We can only really speculate at this stage, but there has been mounting pressures from the country's media association in the past years in trying to ensure that the government uses the media to engage with the citizens of the country as well as to debate on issues of national interests. At the same time, we're also seeing that Prime Minister Manasseh Sogavare's relationship with the media has been testy. We've seen him criticize local media as well as foreign media in Parliament and availing himself to an interview to explain or to talk more about this. Also last year, we saw that the government had stripped or taken out the National Broadcasters State-Owned Enterprises Act, which the opposition say is an attempt to directly take control. But all that aside, Bev, it's been great to have this press conference earlier today with the Prime Minister himself. And in fact, it's my first as well to front Prime Minister Sogavare. And I share with my fellow media colleagues in the hopefulness that this will continue to happen.
And Chrisnrita, he also went to South Korea's first Pacific Islands Forum. We got the sense, though, he didn't necessarily agree with the declaration that came out of that summit. What did he have to say about it?
Bev, he said today at the press conference that he saw implications to the declaration, which is the Korean Indo-Pacific strategy, and he saw in particular, in the paragraph 5, an element there that that didn't sit well with him and his government. In fact, what he told the media today is that Solomon Islands is a member of the Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat, which means that the only strategy which his country will be aligning itself to is the 2050 Blue Continent strategy. And he also said today that this particular declaration or strategy by the Korean government was seen as a target to a third country. He made mention no names today, but it's safe to say he was referring to China. Now, Solomon Islands and China established diplomatic relations in 2019, and last year they signed a security pact, which Prime Minister Sogavare continues to emphasize that this security pact is directed to address its domestic needs. And today he continues to maintain that his country is friends to all and enemy to none, and that he will not, or his country rather, will not participate in power politics, Bev.
Yeah, interesting. He then did go to Saudi Arabia after the South Korean trip. Why did he go there, and what happened? What did he get out of it?
In fact, Bev, Saudi Arabia and Solomon Islands have had bilateral relations since 2014. And although not as engaging as it is, we heard from Prime Minister Sogavare that talks today were on investment in boosting the energy sector, as well as health and education, among the different relations or different seminars or meetings that took place in Saudi Arabia. But one to highlight here, according to Prime Minister Sogavare himself, is the donation or the gift from Saudi Arabia of US $7 million, which is aimed at towards the Pacific Games, which will be held here in Solomon Islands from November. And that itself will see Saudi Arabia, and as Prime Minister Sogavare did mention today, there'll be announcements made in the coming months by the Saudi Arabian government, which will see Saudi Arabia be the second highest contributor to the Pacific Games, just slightly under China, and pushing away Australia to third. Meanwhile, here in Honiara, there is excitement in the air. People are excited, looking forward to the Pacific Games come November, and to ensure that it'll be one of the best Pacific Games that visitors players and athletes will remember. And as they look forward to it, Bev, I look forward to another opportunity with Prime Minister Manasseh Sogavare, like the one we had today here at Henderson International Airport, to talk about Pacific Games as well as the different topics.
Yes, indeed. Let's hope it becomes more of a norm rather than an exception. Good to talk to you, Chrisnrita.
Thank you so much for having me.